In humanity, we have a problem about good and evil. What is good? What is evil? We have a problem with that. We think we know that. We're convinced that we have a handle on that, but we don't. The good is the soul. Like a tree, it wants to grow through the faculties of its head, its heart, its animal, and its body, to flourish on the planet, to conquer life, to advance against life, to evolve. Basically, the evolution of life is the good. And the death of the soul is the evil, which means death is the evil. Life is the good, death is the evil. That is not the human understanding. The human understands spiritualism, which is head and heart, is the good, and materialism, which is in the animal and the body, is the evil. This has been a long-standing Christian, Jewish values, Islamic values, Buddhist values, Hindu values have determined what is up is good, what is down is evil. This is a very bad compass of life that leads to very big tragedies. Materialism is an excessive love of pleasure, comfort, power, and money. When the soul concentrates on these things, pleasure, comfort, power, and money, too much, the two top faculties begin to die off. The heart becomes weak, the head becomes weak. The person lives for increasing always the material status of the soul. Life is both spiritual and material. The soul is both spiritual and material at the same time. It uses these forces to grow in life in order to advance against death, which is the only enemy that it has. Excesses in spiritualism are compassion so strong that it leads to self-denial, which means the person wants to serve other people so much it never serves itself, which is a flaw because one's soul is part of life. It needs to be served. Right? Sometimes you want to improve the world so much that you never improve yourself. You become a cripple. Right? When spiritualism reaches its most powerful status, its most powerful intensity, spiritualism wants to abandon the world completely. It damns the world, like in Hinduism and Buddhism. Never to be born again is some kind of virtue. Imagine the objective of the soul, instead of conquering and mastering life, is to abandon life completely and never to be born again. So much does the soul hate life. And I practiced that myself in spirituality for 7 years in India, and I know what I'm talking about. I am not an academic. I live this stuff. I know what spiritualism is and what kind of harm can come to a soul because of spiritualism. So, spirituality and materiality are two branches of the same soul that wants to advance and flourish like a flower on this planet to become better and better at this game against death and ultimately to defeat death, which means the object of this game is for the soul to actually defeat death and to become immortal in real life through evolutionary changes. The human is a middle species. It's between the animal and the soul. The human doesn't live the interests of the soul. It's not really geared to, make the soul make the soul better, make the soul greater, stronger, so that one day it can actually defeat death. We are the evolution of life is really in the Stone Age as we live, especially as we don't even understand the difference between good and evil.